Oh, what's up? What's poppin', yo? What's going on? It's your boy, Chulo. For all my guys with beard and facial wash, y'all should invest in this Kalamazoo. Kalamazoo by Lush. It's pretty good stuff. All right, but aside from propaganda, we're gonna get into this live. Alright, I'm gonna wait for a couple people to get in here. Remember, Wu sign, taking my time, kind of gotta work on being patient. Doesn't know all the places you kiss and turn around, make a wrong. I'm thinking I might have to start doing these lives earlier because I'm getting tired. But shoot, as long as we get them out there. What I say, your first time ain't your 50th time, of your 150th time ain't your 50th time. So you feel me? Gotta keep going, gotta persevere. With that being said, we're gonna start in about like 15 seconds. I'm gonna just give it a little bit more time. Understand, people might be at rest. It's Sunday. Gotta get into work tomorrow. Gotta wake up early. Just got a little bit of things to go over. A little bit. I guess it's a word. I ain't gonna sell myself short. I got a word for you, and we're gonna get into it in a minute. What's going on? What's popping? I ain't see who it was, but how you doing? What's going on? Much love to you. We're gonna get started. So we're gonna talk about the Amber Guyger case. Looking for us and others, what is responsibility, the art of being, and we're going to give a little bit tied in about what was the energy's influence that we felt today. All right, so the Amber Guyger case. So for those who's unfamiliar with this case, this is a lady who walked into a man's apartment, into an innocent man's apartment. He was watching TV, eating ice cream, and she shot and killed him, thinking that he was a suspect to another crime. She went through trial, and through her trial, the judge was African American. The jury who spoke out on her behalf, the juror, was African American. The brother of the victim, African American, as well as the victim, African American, and the presiding officer, or the bailiff, she was African American. So basically, the verdict came back and that she was guilty of murder, and she was a police officer, a Dallas police officer, and she got 10 years. So from that verdict goes a lot of uproar, saying that, she should have got, justice wasn't served, that she should have got 15 years, 20 years, and as well as the response that she got in the immediate courtroom setting was of, compassion and forgiveness. And a lot of those and a lot of us thought that, she wasn't deserving of just such praise and such, a gracious response. The bailiff was stroking her hair. The juror said that, she was, very eloquent, I think in her, her delivery, she was okay, whatever she said. And the judge hugged her, and as well as the victim's brother hugged her. Now, a lot of us, and I'll just go on to say, as far as my point of view, I understand I'm a black male, and I understand that the odds are against me in America. I totally understand that, and I totally agree. What's good, Campbell? How you doing? And just understand that my rhetoric, my dialogue, when it comes to this live, I try to come from a spiritual aspect. I come from the spirit is no thing. So, not to say that, I'm good, man. I'm doing all right, Campbell. I'm over here, a little tired. I got class tomorrow, doing my thing. I'm chilling. But if it makes any sense, I try to take myself outside of the realm of, being African American, or even being, what if I was put in that shoes? But cause thinking, empathetic, I'm not going to say that, that's not the way to go about it, but I take myself in a stance where I'm not biased to anybody. I'm just over here trying to tell it like it is and tell it how it could be. And from your discretion or from what you take from that is what you take from that. But yeah, let's get into it. So that's what's the case, right? Now, I will say that I agree with both parties. Um, Forgiveness is of God. Forgiveness and acceptance is of spirituality, and accepting one another is in our fault and our behavior and everything. Do I feel that personally justice was served that day? Um, my spirit tells me, who am I to over here give out a sentence, and who am I to over here say who should get how long and for how much and where they should go, you know what I mean? And personally, I can still understand the fact that, having 10 years for, murdering somebody in cold blood and they didn't do anything, and just that certain particular type of situation is messed up. And just the past, we've seen that cops getting off on, us, killing young black men and killing black men, and just, extortioning us, and, just like castrating us. And it just seems like, they can get away with murder, and it kind of shows the public, of European descent, white people, or just, any other body that's not a minority, that they could come somehow kind of get away with it. And it does. It's a frustrating thing, but I was as well be, I would be naive not to say that, granted, that in Christian faith and spirituality, that forgiving is not powerful. You know what I mean? Forgiving is very powerful. And I think that the brother wasn't necessarily doing it for the media. He wasn't doing it to, show that he was a shoe foot, or he was Uncle Tom or anything. I think he did it just for his spirit and his reconciliation. He was trying to reconcile what happened, and I think he did it for himself. And one thing that I do know, that whenever you go through trauma, whenever you go through life, the protagonist somehow always in the end forgives the antagonist. Even though the antagonist probably deserves a harsher punishment or a harsher way of being, it's always showing up that, the bigger person, or AKA the bigger person, does forgive. Now, 10 years, I mean, granted, we're going to be real. I mean, she's a white woman and in America. So in America, she's probably going to have like 2 years, or maybe, 2 years in jail, 3 years at the halfway house, and then get out on probation, and probably have to do in-house probation for the next 5 years because of how America is. And the thing is, it's just the history and how it's been playing out for us. So it's a very messed up situation. I just seen a comedian, I forget his name, Ryan Davis. He had posted a video, and he was like, you know what, granted, I'm jealous of her, granted, because she just got all this praise, and they act like it was so good, and, she didn't do any wrong and everything. Campbell said, it's more shocking because Texas is one of the most gun-ho death penalty state in the U.S. It is, but at the same time, it makes a lot of sense, because you could see when they was doing them little girls at the swimming pool like that, when them officers was grabbing them teenage girls when they had that pool party and putting their knee in their back. So, in Texas is one of them, it was the last state, Texas was its own country before it came in America. So that pride in Texas is already like fuel. Like Texas can come to North Carolina, they got that pride about them and everything. And you already know how them guys, them 1950s, 1960s, white gentlemen, or just, other minorities down there, how they feel about their pride and everything, how they feel about their land. Like, this is my gun, this is my rifle right here, this is my land. My grandpa worked here, my grandmother, we 5 generations deep. And, it's just something in their spirit that they feel about that. So they uphold them type of values that was once back then, they still do it today. So, my thing is, I ain't, if you always stay aware, it won't never catch you off guard. That's why I say don't be naive to the fact. I peep Texas. Now you go down to Texas, man, them boys they ain't gonna play with you. You know what I mean? They gonna get down with you if you need to. And Dallas is Republican as hell. That's right. But you know as well though, the Democrat, black people over here going to the Democrat too. You know the Democrat is putting poverty families on WIC and on welfare and everything. And if you didn't know, the black man can't be in a household when a woman has signed up for like not WIC, but for like welfare and government assistance. A black man can't be in that household. So either democracy or Democrats, they can break up a black family unit. So, you know, it's really pros and cons to us all and everything. You know, the Republican, of course, you know, on the outside looking in, definitely, you know, for the upper class folks and everything. I'm not going to say there's not black Republicans, but we all know the majority of the Republicans is of the white descent. But a lot of people, they so going for the Democrats and everything that granted, it's like, oh, yeah, well, you know, the Democrat. My grandma Democrat. You know, everybody in my family, we all black, so we Democrats. But, you know, the Democrats just doing not maybe as much, but they still not working all in our favor. That's just what I'm saying. So that's just my thoughts on the Amber Geiger case, is that basically it's three sides to every story. It's his story, her story, and it's the truth. And I'm just expressing my truth of the fact. It sucked that, you know, no person should go through that. And America has showed us time and time again that when it comes to a minority's life, it's really not that value compared to the white counterpart. And that's just something that they've shown us time and time again. Now, I'm not saying that couldn't change. I'm not saying that we should change our outview or we should start mistreating people just because of what we see on the news and things of that sort. But we're not going to be naive to the fact that this has caught us all off guard. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Now, do I think that she should have got more years or do I think that she should have got less years? I feel that I'm not really qualified to say who should get how many years and what. Now, granted, even if she got 20 years, even if she got 3 years, even if she got 80 years, you know, granted, I think that justice is that she needs to be responsible for her actions and she need to do her time and she need to sit. Now, I'm going to just leave it at that. Call me Shoefoot, call me the Pickaninny, whatever you want to call it. But, you know, granted, that's just how I see it. So that was my thing on the Amber Geiger case. And look, the next point is looking for us and others. So I seen that a lot of friction from this case was because we ourselves was looking for us and other political officials and other influencers and other people, you know, who may have a bigger following. And you should never really look for yourself and other people because you have to understand that we're all individuals. Once you start to look at yourself, once you start to look for you and others, you're going to always be met with friction. You're going to always be met with resistance because I'm not going to find Malik and, you know, Pastor Baker. And Pastor Baker is not going to see himself in Malik. We're all individuals. I'm not going to see myself and my peers is not going to, and I'm not going to my peers are not going to try and find themselves in me. A lot of us, we over here like to say that, you know, well, he ain't real, she ain't real, just because they don't uphold the same values, they don't have the same morality as us. But then again, they don't think about we didn't grow up the same. We didn't have the same resources. We didn't have the same type of family environment. We didn't have the same home. We didn't have the same, you know, anything. Really, we might have went to the same school. We might have over here dealt and with the same people. We might have rode the same bus and even went to the bus stop at the same time. But we were all still individuals. Somebody had earphones in. Somebody had a PSP in their hand. Somebody was over here thinking, and somebody was just, you know, probably eating a snack. We was all doing different things. So when we try to look for ourselves and others, we're always going to be met with resistance. We're always going to be met with friction. And when you start to do that, it's like you're trying to tell yourself that, oh, I need to have an external reference and I need to have these people do these type of things for me to feel comfortable in my immediate environment. And that's not reality. You know, that's like a surrogate reality, and you can make that happen. But, you know, a lot of that times that's going to be met with force. That's going to be met with, you know, authority. And you can't tell grown people how to be grown. You know what I mean? You're going to always get friction with that. A lot of grown people want to tell them how to move and how to be grown. You can't tell nobody how to be grown. So that's just right there. I'll leave that with that. What is responsibility? One thing that, you know, and why I'm saying I leave that with that, because I just noticed that, you know, in the current day, it's like we always got to walk on eggshells because you know you don't want to be offensive and everything, but at the same token, you know, you still got to keep that element that, you know, this is me, this is who I am, and things of that sort, without, you know, trying to come off offensive or trying to tell people what to do and everything. That's something personally I'm trying to learn in my life. But on to the next one. What is responsibility? Responsibility is just meaning is the ability to respond. So a lot of us, you know, we go into meditation, and meditation is when you're doing something that you enjoy to do. Basically, meditation is if you're looking at TV, you're meditating. If that's something that you enjoy to do, if that's what quiets your mind, if that's what quiets your spirits, then you're meditating. If you're reading a book, that's meditating. If you're listening to music, you're meditating. You know, a lot of us, we like to, you can have a child right now, and your child could be playing with his toys and everything. They're in a meditation state. They're vibrating at a high frequency right now because they're at a space where it's peace, joy, gaiety. You know, they're just, you know, full of love. And out of that love, you can bring about abundance. It says, Campbell says, how you feel about the witness being killed? I forgot his name. Uh, I I think it's messed up. Yeah, I mean that's messed up, man. The thing is that it's unfair. Homeboy, you know, that's his life, and I don't think we understand that was his life. Like, he not gonna be able, you know, to necessarily have a family. She ended that for him. She kind of fast forwarded him. Like, you know, the opportunity to have a family, the opportunity to find love, the opportunity to learn some more about himself, the opportunity to, you know, be somebody that, you know, could help out humanity. She robbed him of that opportunity, you know, and that's messed up. Because, I mean, when you dead and gone, your spirit going to always live. But, you know, this realm of reality, we got work to do. We trying to raise the vibration. We got kids shooting up schools and everything. We got relationships decimating. We got masculinity being perverted into how much money you got, perversion. We got evils at work right now. We got a whole lot of work that needs to be done. And he could have been an asset to it. You know what I mean? He had his own life to live. Not to say that he has to work for the greater good. But, you know, granted, who's to say, you know, in his path, he did everything what he trying to do. And hell, you at home eating ice cream, hell, that's him being in a meditative state. You know what I mean? Just, you know, chilling, laying back, eating ice cream. Hopefully, I think his state of being was happy. Because, you know, granted, I know depression, you could still be home doing the same thing. I just pray his state of being was happy. But when, you know, she came in and she entered that for him, I think that's messed up. That's fucked up. You know what I mean? And I don't think anybody should, you know, die. Or, you know, I don't wish that on my worst enemy. That's one of my fears, you know, granted, walking in the street and getting hit by a stray bullet. You know what I mean? Just not seeing it coming. So, you know what I mean? I feel for that, man. It's messed up. Responsibility, the ability to respond. So, whenever we're out, you know, whenever you're in a meditative state of being, that could be just anything that you're doing at the time. And whatever transmute, whatever's quiet in your mind, whatever, you know, you're just, you know, being relaxed at. Now, once you leave outside your room, once you go outside, you're in a environment where it could seem chaotic because you're around a whole lot of different people. Now, everybody they're on the path, everybody has a lot of different thoughts, everybody has a lot of different intentions, everybody is going about, you know, in the world different ways, moving in all these directions. It can play tricks on your anxiety, it can play tricks on, you feel me, or influence you to kind of react a little bit faster or do things a little bit swifter rather than, you know, you would usually do. And that's why it's important to know yourself and not to look for us and others like, why are they not doing this the way I do it? But we went over that. So whenever you start, you know, whenever you go out in the world and everything, it's going to be people that come at you that may be aligned how you feel, that may cause friction on how you feel, or that may be resistant on how you feel. The thing is that the only power that you have is the ability to respond to that. So your external reflection is how you internally feel inside. Now, if you have the willpower and if you have the abundance and if you've been working on yourself, then you can respond to about anything and how you see fit. So if somebody comes at you fast talking, you know, woo, hey, you'd be like, yeah, okay, you kind of slow the conversation down. You like let bring in let the questions come at you slow. Like this goddamn water, I need to goddamn drink this mother. So you allow things to come at you at a slower pace. So the power that we have is the ability to respond. And what responding does, it could transmute the conversation into a positive state of being, to a positive dialogue, to, something that's to your fitting. Um, and you have the ability as well that if you peep chaotic energy, or if, they're still consistent on giving you that, chaos, or giving you the alignment, you could either stay and, enjoy that, or you can either walk away. Because no one ever says that, you have to stay put, or, it's not going to make you a good and bad person. A lot of us, we have a high morality, and that high morality would say, well, I can't just walk away from nobody. I just can't just up and walk. I'm not saying to up and walk. I'm just saying that, just excuse yourself. Like, hey, hey, I got somewhere to be. It was good seeing you, nice talking to you, and you go on about your day. But you have to build that spiritual strength in order to say so, because a lot of us, we don't like to disappoint people. We don't want to, just say, oh, well, I support you. And, granted, I just want to make sure that I'm supporting you. Granted, if you really support you, and if they really were your friends and vice versa, then they will understand. So that's the ability to respond, just responding in any fashion that you see fit. That's what responsibility is. Now we're going to talk about the art of being. Now, the art of being is allowing yourself to be. So whenever you allow yourself to be, allowing yourself is just, with spirituality, you can run people away. You can, kind of have people, resent you, or, kind of resist you, or kind of, whatever. Now, the thing is that, like I say before, we don't do this for appeasement. I don't do it to be appeasing people and everything. It's just a message that I feel that if I could reach, somebody, then, it's, it was worth it. So the thing is that whenever you start to become spiritually inclined, or if you are spiritually inclined, that it's always wise to not go about people and like tell them, hey, this is happening, you need to start doing this, you got to start doing this at this time, this rate, this pace, and everything. Because see, what that does to people is pushes them away. So one thing that in my spirituality, in my path, when I first started, grooming myself under, this knowledge, and I'm still learning myself, that I was so excited, and I wanted to tell somebody, I wanted to tell the world, because I wanted everybody to be aware of what was going on. I wanted us to all be on one page and on one accord, because I didn't want anybody to get washed up under, any influence or any energies that I had knowledge of. It almost felt like I was cheating. Like, oh, I know something that they don't know, and if I don't tell them, then granted, it's like, it feel like cheating. The thing is that we all got our paths, and a lot of us, we might have the great intentions to do so, just to help each other out. But if they're not ready for that, then they're not ready for that. You know what I mean? You can't force anything on anybody. You can, but it's just not wise to. So that's just like, and no, shout outs to the Islam faith, but that's like, to the people that's on the corners, on the street corners, or with the Bibles and the bean pies, like, hey, read, you better read this, or Jehovah's Witnesses, watch the Watchtower and everything. Now, not to, in the light of that, I'm not trying to, down talk anybody's religion or anybody's faith, but I'm just saying that whenever you take that approach, you can push more people away rather than allowing them to come to you. And that's why I say don't chase it, let it come to you. So forcing spirituality on others can cause resentment, because what you're telling them may be before their time, or maybe before they're ready to do so. So sometimes whenever you saying it or someone else is saying it, you could paint the image in their head just because it's coming from you that, they might not want to hear it. or you could paint a picture in their head just because it's coming from you. They want to hear it, but in that modality, you want to allow it to come to you first, rather than you going out and searching for it and standing on your soapbox and having a microphone and being like, "Hey, this was up." So I guess the way to combat that, or a solution to that, is to create a platform. So one thing of mine, I like to talk about spirituality. I like to kind of incorporate it, and my lifestyle, and the lessons that I've learned. And the way that I can do that effectively is to create a platform, and I do that through going through the lives and everything. So it's like saying to me, you know what you're clicking on, you know what you went for, you know what you're into, whenever you see me going live, or whenever, decide to click on my page, or things of that sort. And that's just like with YouTube, that's just like with content, that's just like with anything going, as far as media, you know what you're pressing yourself into. You're like signing a contract. Now, granted, if somebody's being cordial with you, but yeah, you're hitting them like, with your dialogue of spirituality, esoteric knowledge, and all this and everything, they're not going to be rude, because these are good, common people, good, common, good folk. And they're going to listen to you, but at the same token, you kind of putting them through a hellish experience, because they just want to, necessarily just be genuine with you. They just want to see how your day going, how you been, how your family holding up and everything, what you got going on in your life. With your dialogue and your conversation is just straight talking about, oh, well, the what, this is about to happen, and Uranus is doing this, and you ever heard of let it come to you, don't chase it, being abundant, prosperity, gaiety, you know what I mean? And all that is good, is fine and everything, but it's a time and a place for everything. And the strategy that you use to go about it is all about, how you want to do that, and it's just wise to, let them come to you. When the student is ready, the teacher will show up. All right, and last but not least, I don't know if anybody's been feeling scattered today or anything like that, but Mercury is in Scorpio, and it's opposing Uranus and Taurus. So basically, what I'm saying is that Mercury rules your intellect. The energy of Scorpio is deep. It's in water. Scorpio is water, so water is associated with being emotional. And Scorpios have a tendency to be deeply emotionally invested, within themselves and then within others. So Mercury rules that, and it opposes your Uranus and Taurus. So Uranus and Taurus, this is going to be for the next 7 years. Uranus rules individuality. Taurus is about practicality. So for the next 7 years, Tauruses are the forefront of how we should, go about our business life or being an individual. These are the examples of what to do and what not to do for the next 7 years. In the last 7 years, it was in Aries. And if you paid attention, this is right when Akon recently just came out talking about his cryptocurrency. Akon is an Aries. So in the last 7 years, Akon was doing the Bitcoin, his cryptocurrency, the Acorn and everything. And a lot of people, they weren't looking into it. But now, granted, all his fruits of his labor is paying off. He's finally like reaping the harvest that he's been sowing. So now in the next 7 years, for being an individual, it's in Taurus. So all Taurus's sun, moon, and ascendants is going to be on y'all to show the example and lead the way on how to be, on what to do and what not to do. And Taurus is about practicality. They're very patient. They're good in business. They know how to make some money. You know what I mean? For one thing, a Taurus do know how to do is make some money. So today, aside the fact Mercury was in Scorpio, Mercury rules your intellect, and you can see which your Mercury is in depending on your natal chart. And Mercury was in Scorpio, and it was opposing Uranus. So the influence that it was giving off was that people were feeling scattered. The energy influence was going at a faster pace, and that it was playing on our anxieties and forcing us to make quick, irrational decisions. Now, a suggestion that I would say that, in order to kind of ride this next week, we'll look at a tarot card reading, probably go on YouTube. And tarot card readings are basically spirituality readings through tarot readers. It's a process in which you have You have your readings about love. You have a readings about finances. You have your readings about home. You have your readings about business. And you have your readings about family. And basically, it's going to tell you about the energetic gateways, or if you have any gifts coming up this week, if you have any hinderings coming up this week, if you have any positivity coming up this week, if you have any opportunities coming up this week, if you have any resources that's going to be available for your using that's going to show up this week. And how you look into your tarot card readings is by looking through your natal chart. So your natal chart is going to tell you your sun, moon, and ascendant. Your sun is, you being me, I'm a Leo sun, right? So that should give you an example. Like, say if you were born in the Gemini or the Taurus or the Virgo or the Libra or the Aquarius, that whatever you are on your birthday, that's your sun sign. Now on your natal chart, you have a moon, you have a Saturn, a Venus, a Neptune, or Uranus, but we're just going to focus on the main three in this conversation: your ascendant, your sun, and your moon. So me, I'm a Leo sun on my natal chart. After putting in my information, my date, my location, the time I was born, and my name, and being a male, after putting in all the information on my natal chart, I seen that my moon is in Aquarius, and I seen my ascendant is in Cancer. So your sun is how you express yourself, your moon is how you react, and your ascendant is your personality. So my sun, I express myself like a Leo. My moon, I respond like an Aquarius. And my ascendant is my personality. I have a personality of a Cancer, which is, kind of warm, homey, very sensual. Not playing. Sound like a creep. All that shit. Yeah, so that's basically your sun, moon, and ascendant. And basically that's how you can model your tarot card readings. Just look after, so I would type in Cancer tarot card reading, and it would tell me for Cancer, sun, moon, and ascendants. Then I would type in Leo tarot card reading for the week of October 7th through the, I think, 15th. And then as well, I will put in Aquarius tarot card reading for the week of October 12th through the 15th. All right, and just to go back over, we talked about the Amber Geiger case. I was talking about looking for us and others. What is responsibility? The ability to respond, the art of being, and today's energy, which was Mercury and Scorpio opposing Uranus and Taurus. All right, and I want to thank everybody that tuned in. Tuned into the live. Appreciate it. It was a real quick live. You know what I mean? Tired, man. You know what I mean? It's been like a long day. It's been one of them long days and everything. You know what I mean? I was working on the bag today. If anybody out there, man, somebody give me some pointers on the left hook, man. That left hook is a mug, man. So, I do a little bit of boxing, like about every day, man. I was doing my left hook today. And, man, that shit so goddamn hard. Like, my damn fist was bending. But for those who is having a problem, who box and got a problem with the hooks, I seen this video. He was like, stir it like it's damn, like you stirring a pot. And that's how you can work on your hook right there. You know what I mean? So I'm going to get on the bag tomorrow, and I'm going to try that shit out. Because I was a little disappointed on my, myself. But aside from that, man, I'll be rambling. I just hope everybody has a good week, man. Spreading out, a lot of love, positivity. I urge people not to be naive, about what's going on in our current standings. Be a little bit more empathetic. Kind of put yourselves in other people's shoes and see, how it feels and everything. Let's, kind of be a little bit more aware and then just show a little bit more love, you know what I mean? Whenever, anybody's coming, for you, not for you, but whenever, people out here, they just need a friend. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things going on in the world that, just can paint us against each other and that could show us that, the more negative sides of, people and everything. But in general, at the end of the day, when the dust settles, We all good people, man. It's a lot of negative spirits out here. And you gotta understand that your soul can ascend, and your soul is open up for attacks, here and there. So, just, kind of be mindful. Everybody need a friend. Everybody needs some help. And, I just kind of urge people to be a helping hand this week. Be somebody's friend. Just take your time with them. Take your time for yourself. You know what I mean? Take time for yourself. Relax. You probably been working hard, on your endeavors and on your dreams and on your goals and aspirations. And, always just remember that you got to take care of yourself. And, you come first. You know what I mean? So, just be mindful of that. If you see something that you like, if you got a desire out there, I say go for it. Kind of build a plan around it, and I say go for it. If you see a little shorty that you be keep your eye on, say what's up to her. You know what I mean? If there's a gentleman out there that you got your eye on, I just say, kind of put yourself in the space and everything, just kind of make it happen. You got one life to live. Every day ain't promised, so, let's make the best of it. Aside from that, man, not to get all mushy-gushy, to all my guys out there, man, y'all stay up, man. Y'all keep on doing what we got to do out here, man. We got a job, we got an obligation. You know what I mean? I ain't saying what we, I ain't telling y'all what to do, but for my brothers out there, man, y'all keep on doing what y'all doing. Keep on getting it, how y'all getting it, man. And I take my hat off to y'all because, y'all still here and y'all know y'all still holding it down. So y'all keep on doing what y'all got to do. To my ladies out there, to my women, I just, y'all keep on doing what y'all got to do. I'm proud of y'all, and I understand, y'all being mothers, and to my guys, y'all being fathers, but, to my ladies out there, take care of yourself. Make sure, you take a time for yourself. You know what I mean? Make sure you know how important you are and know your value and know your worth. You know what I mean? So just, keep steadfast and persevere, because you got this, it's going to all work out. And for my family, hey, man, y'all keep it G as y'all do, and I love y'all, and y'all, y'all just keep on, being positive, and y'all each in the individual lives out here, you know what I mean? All my heart goes out to y'all, man, straight up. And, yeah, man, to anybody that I did miss, family, friends, and, all my peoples out there, y'all keep it G, keep it cool, be cool, don't let nobody frustrate you. Don't let nobody, take you off don't let nobody take you out your position and everything. If you got goddamn, make sure you gotta let somebody know. I ain't gonna tell you not to, but, just be mindful. And, again, be a helping hand, be a friend to somebody. All right, I'm out this joint. Love y'all. Peace.